Boker Tov, everyone. Shalom, Rabbi Eric Solomon. Some morning Torah once again, Raleigh, North Carolina, Beth Mar Synagogue. So this week's Torah portion is Tissa. Most famously has the section about the golden calf. Moshe, our teacher's up on the mountaintop in the Torah, and the people down below think it takes too long. They put a golden calf out there, worship around it. Moshe comes down the mountain, sees the people dancing around it, doing kind of idolatry, basically, and he smashes the tablets. All right, that's the main part of the story. Many of you, I'm sure, are very familiar with it. So, look, there's one way looking at the smashing of the tablets is that, Moshe is sick of it. And it's understandable. He's leading our people. He's been through a journey. The Bnei Israel, the children of Israel, are difficult. We stiff-necked. We won't listen. We constantly complain. Want to go back to Egypt. We don't make Moses' job easy. Okay, it's bottom line. And he has a right to get upset. He's a human being. Okay, perfect example. Not some super angelic character. Yeah, real human flesh and blood person, but sarvadam. Tough. But I want to look at another piece of the upset. I mean, there's another piece here. Kind of the fact that Moshe, when he sees the golden calf, I mean, obviously he's not happy about it. Not only because they're being difficult, but like they basically rejecting the whole God journey that he's been bringing us on. And he just thinks that they're wrong, that they're really wrong. And I want to talk about this a little bit here because I remember I learned about this from a great teacher, Dr. George Braswell, teacher at the Campbell University in Southeastern locally, professor of Christianity, and founder of basically two centers for global cultures and interfaith work in our area in East North Carolina, raised Baptist, traditional background in Baptist North Carolina environment. And I asked him once, when did he become so open-minded and interested in other religions? And he explained, make a long story short, that he spent 7 years in Iran. This is pre the Ayatollah revolution, in I guess the early 70s, doing missionary work basically there, or supporting the Christian community in Iran at that time. And he never said he first arrived and unbelievable, millions of Muslims, and he'd never been in an environment his whole life, really outside the United States very much, but then to be in Iran and a place where there's just very little Christian community. And he explained that he learned from that the church would meet and they wouldn't even put public Christian symbols out on the street. It was kind of it was secretive, and it wasn't necessarily terrorism, but just uncomfortable and a little worried for their safety, but it's just uncomfortable being so publicly Christian in a predominantly Muslim environment. And he's saying the first Christmas came by and he just couldn't believe how little Christian Christmas feeling there was in the air. After 7 years of that, he began to change, realized that the whole world is not all Christian and that there's a way to manage that. And not only that, but there's something to learn from it. Even if he was not going to become Muslim, he found great beauty in Islam and visiting mosques and meeting with the other imams and studying the Quran. He began to understand, wow, there are different worldviews that open his world. So what do I say here? Is that it's just very easy for people to reject another religion or theology another way just based on first take. Oh, that's the golden calf. Whatever's not, I have the Torah, everyone else got the golden calf. Get angry about it, like Moses. But a little curiosity. One of Moshe's sins here is just could he go a little before smashing? Could he think, is there something going on here with the golden calf that maybe even, fine, it's not idolatry, he's not going to be down with that, but is there something here I should understand, at least about why they practice this way? Maybe there's even something here I need to discover for myself before I completely reject it. I think that's one of the messages as well. Think about this when you think about your perspective, politics or life, or even religion. Are you so sure you're right? Have you been exposed to other possibilities? Who's the golden calf? Who's the Torah? Might be in the eye of the beholder. Shabbat Shalom.